Here is a nice picture I drew showing Nami looking very nice as usual with new tattoo, which is tangerine and pinwheel combination. I think in memory of adopted mother and Mr. Genzo.
One Piece, Chapter 95. Spin, Pinwheel, spin.
Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always and expected, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the epic saga that is One Piece. Our last chapter saw things starting to wind down a bit. There was a bit of action with Nozumi coming and trying to come and shit in everybody's Cheerios. And he was promptly beaten by Zoro and Nami. The chapter wound up ending with Luffy kind of being put out for a worldwide all points bulletin, so to speak, and he's now on the the most wanted list. So that's how the chapter ended. This chapter picks up, and it's one that's a little bit slower, but it really is nice, as far as I'm concerned, to wrap up the arc. Again, not really any action in it, but a lot of development and some background as far as stories go and things like that. So it starts out and it's like, oh, the villagers partied into the night and the next day and the next night. And I mean, these people have been oppressed and held hostage basically for 8 years. And not allowed to lift a finger, because it would be considered rebellion against Arlong. So they're partying it up, and it's kind of funny because everybody's got their thing, Luffy's just eating and eating and eating and meat, and then he goes and he looks at Sanji, and it's this funny theme throughout the chapter. He goes, "What was that melon that you had earlier?" And Sanji says, "I don't know. It was prosciutto, like prosciutto is like a ham and melon." And he goes, "Oh, prosciutto and melon, prosciutto and melon." He goes, "Where'd you get it?" And he says, "I don't remember. There's food everywhere. Everybody's partying. It's like the whole island is having a big party." And so Luffy's like, "I'm gonna go find some of that. And it shows Yosaku and Johnny. They're dancing, they're jamming. Usopp is kind of standing up and telling this great tale, the great tales of Captain Usopp, about how he defeated the fishmen and this and that, and he starts singing and everybody, like I said, everybody's just having a really good time, which which is certainly a nice thing. So we then go and we're taken to, and I think Sanji says, "I'm gonna go get a woman," and he goes off. But then we're taken over to kind of a touching moment, and it's Genzo, and he's at Belle-Mere's grave, and I'm not sure if they were romantically involved or it was a one night stand thing between them, but they obviously had a connection and cared for each other. And he's over there and he's got a bottle of alcohol, beer, grog, whatever you want to call it, and he's basically talking to to her grave, saying, "I wish you could see your daughters. They've grown up now, and they're certainly able to stand on their own 2 feet." And we're finally free, and after all the sacrifice, we're finally going to be able to live and laugh and love. And he kind of just gives a toast, and he pours the alcohol over her tombstone, which is not actually a tombstone, it's like a wooden cross. And Luffy comes wandering out, and he's like, "Oh, prosciutto and ham, prosciutto and ham." And he's like, and Kenzo's like, "There's no food here." And then Luffy's like, "Okay, see ya." And he goes, "No, wait, hold on, boy." So this is one of the moments that's real nice. You see, Genzo was very much like a father figure to Nami and Nojiko, especially after Belle-Mere was killed, and I believe, and that's what I believe anyway, from how he acted, and he truly cares for. So this is one of the points in the chapter where we see that, because he tells Luffy, he says, "Listen, I know you're going to be on these journeys and you're a pirate and there's going to be danger and everything like that, but do not ever make her unhappy. If you do, I will kill you. Do you understand me?" And Luffy's like, "Yeah, I would never," and he's like, "Do you understand me?" It's kind of like a father, telling the boyfriend, "Hey, don't fuck with my daughter." And Luffy definitely seems to get it. He's like, "Okay, cool," So it then goes back to the village. And it shows us, it shows Nami, and she's getting checked out by the doctor, and of course she had mutilated herself, back in chapter 81, I believe it was, and when she was trying to cut the tattoo of Arlong off, and the doctor says, "Listen, it's never really fully going to heal," and she's like, "Well, wait, it's never going to fully heal," and we see that this is where she gets the tattoo that that she has in all the iconic pictures and the few that I've even drawn of her. And she says, "Here, listen, I need you to give me a tattoo. I want you to put this on me." And it just kind of fades to black, so to speak. Goes to the next the next thing. So all in all, like I said, just kind of a lot of fun and just wrapping up a couple of the little things that are going on in the story arcs. I think then it winds up going to the next morning, and everybody's getting ready to sail. To leave. The ship is ready. The merry-go is ready. Everyone is on it except for Nami. All the villagers have gathered to see everybody off. Yosaku and Johnny are like, hey, thanks for teaming up with us, and we're gonna go our own way and be bounty hunters again, pirate bounty hunters. And they say their goodbyes, and everybody on the ship is kind of like, where's Nami? Is she coming? And somebody, and then and then Sanji's like, well, why wouldn't she come? And then Luffy's like, it's okay, whatever. So Nami goes, and she's like, it goes back to the village over here, and she's, before this all happens, Genzo's talking about Nami, and he winds up talking about the pinwheel on his head, because somebody goes and says to him, I think it's Nojiko, that says, you don't have your pinwheel anymore. What's the deal with that? And he goes, I don't need it anymore. So it goes and it shows a flashback to when Nami was a baby, and whenever he would try to come around her, she was scared of him, just because he was just this gruff-looking, war-torn-looking fellow. I guess this scarred individual with this big mustache. And Belle-Mere was like, no, she doesn't like it when you come near her. You make her scared. You're just scary. So he started putting the pinwheel on his head. He put it on his head and just kept it on there ever since she was a kid. And Belle-Mere's like, that's not going to make her laugh. And all of a sudden, Nami starts cracking up. It's real funny to her. So that was what he did. And when she was younger, to get her to trust him and to like him. So it was kind of a cool, touching thing, I thought. So this, every other, arc has had the end of it, the crew members kind of getting on board and everything. And Nami had sort of joined us, but then she, screwed us over and left us and everything. But it was a good arc, and it was very touching. And everything else has been, at the end of it, it's kind of been like, oh, geez, Usopp's, you're tearing up, and Sanji's, you're over there kind of getting choked up. And this one was I thought was kind of fun the way it was handled, because Nami's back in the village and she's like, hey, and she starts running. She's like, set sail, and you're like, what the hell? So Luffy's like, okay, you heard what she said, cast off, So they cast off, and all the villagers are like, wait, what do you mean? She's not going to just take off and without saying goodbye to us, we want to thank her. And they also had mentioned earlier in the chapter, too, that a few pages before, that she's basically leaving all the money. She's not taking anything with her. And Genzo's like, well, whatever, once she made up her mind, I mean, she's going to need some money with her, but she said she wouldn't take it, and that's how it is, right? So she's going to leave all the money with the villagers. So she comes running, and she's running. She says, oh, set sail, go, So everybody's like freaking out. They're like, she's not going to stop and say goodbye to us, And all the villagers are talking amongst themselves, and Luffy's like, hey, listen, that's what she wants to do, so, keep going, right? So the ship now is parting away from the dock, and is now, 10, 15 feet away from the dock, maybe 20, I don't know. And they're starting to move, and she's just running, right? And you can kind of hear, like, if you visualize, you kind of hear the pitter patter of the footsteps running, and everybody's like, Nami, want to say goodbye? I want to thank you. And she just kind of runs by everybody, right? And just leaps to the ship, and lands on the ship or whatever, and she kind of turns around and smiles. And then all of a sudden, everybody's it kind of like they're being irritated about not, and the heartfelt I want to say goodbye kind of turns to anger, because I know they're like, my wallet. Hey, my wallet. What the? Wait, my wallet. Wait, where's my? So as she was running by, she pickpocketed a number of the villagers, whoever she could probably get her hands on, And it's kind of funny, because it's one of those things where it's like, oh, old habits die hard. And then somebody says, I think Zoro says, yeah, she'll probably betray us again, and she'll probably stab us in the back again, that type of thing. And they basically chalk it up to like, hey, once a thief, always a thief, right? Like, she has a good heart, but, she's still prone to stealing. So it's kind of funny that the villagers even get mad at her, even though it's only temporarily, because, like, hey, what could you have had in your wallet that, like, the 100 million that she left you, not to mention everything that was returned to you from Arlong, couldn't pay for? What, you got a couple $100 maybe? So, I don't know. I'm not thinking they don't use credit cards, so it's probably cash only. But still, I mean, so... But the anger winds up turning to excitement and joy, and they're like, hey, thank you, Nami, and this and that, and good luck, and she kind of turns and smiles, and instead of it being a real tearjerker type of thing, she just kind of waves and says, it's okay, I'll be back, And I think it was just kind of her way of dealing with things. She could have left some of the money to them and then kept some for herself to go on her voyage. She probably would have been fine, but she's a thief, and that was just kind of her way, as opposed to getting into these mushy, long goodbyes. She just kind of wanted to do something that was different and just sort of, kind of changed the mood and the tone from somber to happy, you know. So anyway, it's kind of nice. The chapter wraps up shortly after that. We wind up, wrapping up this saga, which was great. This arc was excellently done, I thought. And really, my only question is for you is where you were at, any one of you, brothers and sisters, that were when you were reading this. Where did you think things were going to go from here? Did you think we were finally going to get onto the Grand Line? Did you think that we were going to go and get us a musician or a doctor? Because those both have been mentioned. Where did you think this was going to head next? And again, I know that most of you, if not all, already are, further down the line, if not caught up to date to where things are. But where you were at when Arlong Park ended, where did you think things were going next? That's my question. So remember to leave those in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you think I deserve it, and then of course subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching you in the next one, Nation.
As always, thanks for watching, brothers and sisters, and remember, join the Nerd Nation. It's the right thing to do. Trust me. Tell them Jim sent you.